Hey, we're live. I just figured I'm not really doing anything educational or anything like. I'm just getting my stuff ready for Brodak and the gnats. So today you saw that I put a couple of flights on this airplane. It's pretty close to trim. I just need to get the motor to run right. So I got fuel coming Friday. I'll stop and I'm going to pick up 4 gallons on my way to Brodak. And so that'll straighten that out, and it'll straighten out the other Continental's fuel problem. Have you guys tell that you've never seen both of the two together? The two Continentals together. They're very similar. Let me put this other airplane. I'm gonna shuffle it around a little bit. I'll move my Minato. And then okay, sorry about that. Put this one on the wall so you can see the difference. There we go. Okay. So we got that one. I mean, they're pretty damn close. I mean, this is a lot smaller. Let's see what the wingspan is on that. I'm gonna do some buffing and painting. You always say yo. Yeah, yo. Okay, wingspan on the classic Continental is 55 inches, and the wingspan on the XL Continental is 59 inches, so 4 inches difference. And the root on this one $11.5, and this one is we'll say 10 3/4, and the tip on this one is, God, I see back to the tripping on wire shit. 9 inches, and this one is 9 inches. So I mean, it's a pretty close. They're pretty close to the same airplane, except that one's classic legal. This one is not. So I'd really like to fly both of these this year. I think I'm going to take this one, and my Junar Old Faithful to Brodak. I know that one flies. I can put it on like an old shoe and run with it. Now I got a problem with this airplane as far as the gnats goes. I don't think I haven't made up my mind. Okay, here's what happened with this airplane, and you're going to get my thought process on this. Okay, when I put this canopy on, somehow it got fogged inside. I think it's C8. It fogged the inside. So I took a heat gun and I started heating on it. Well, it's got a dent right there in the canopy. So in order to be perfect, or as close to perfect as possible, that canopy needs to be cut off and a new one put on. Or I can sand this canopy with 80 grit sandpaper, superfill it, fill that in, and paint it until after the gnats. So I could paint it green, that fluorescent green. Then after the gnats, cut the canopy off and add it back. And if anybody says, well, you ain't got a pilot. Well, yes, I do. I can prove it. It'll just be a dark green canopy, that pearl green. I think that's what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. The Spectra lines, I use Spectra on this. I also dug out my carbon 1545 prop that will take in case I need to use it on this. This is a 16445, so 1545 will be fine. But you got to go with more than one prop in case something happens. I dug out all my rev up 13.6s that I got in stock. I only have 14 13.6s. I only have 4 11.6 EWs. I got a bunch of 12.5s and just oddball stuff that I'm not going to use. I also have a electric pusher prop I'm going to sell at Brodak's, but it ain't cheap. It's 35 bucks. I'm going to bring a lot of stuff that I just don't use, and I'm not ever going to use again. We also have this option too for this airplane. This is a 14-inch Bob McDonald 3-blade. So I bring the spinner and this 3-blade prop for this, because I would like to fly this one at the gnats. This airplane is almost 4 years old, never been to the gnats. I got a lot of stuff I got another Junar that's never been to the gnats. I got the high roller I could dig out. It's flown at the gnats. It doesn't act that well, the high roller. So while I'm sitting here jabbering, I'm going to put some rubbing on it. We're going to see if we can't bring up the shine. And you can bring up the shine. Yeah, really bring it up. Did you guys know that there's different coarseness of buffing pads? This is my buffing pad stash. This is the coarsest. This is the softest, the white. I think I don't want to buff with red. I guess blue would have been okay. We'll get out a blue and a gray. Gray I've already used, so. So basically, this is just to hang out with me and keep you company or whatever. Yep, already splattered myself. Shit. You go back several years, I was doctoring up on the other Continental XL on the channel. This airplane's fairly old. I don't know, it's either 4 or 5 years old. It's definitely 4 years old because the Junar's been to the Nats 4 times. So we're going to do a little doctoring on the paint and ink. I rubbed through the clear there, and there's a couple of spots. I got to put the ink back on it and airbrush some clear over it, and then rub that out. So we're really not going to worry about that until after Brodak. Because by the time Brodak is over, if this is not buffed, trimmed out all the way, I won't be flying this. I think the biggest thing right now is get the motor to run right, and that's with the fuel. Yeah, I got a big 5-gallon container, and I have fuel mixed. It's a race fuel container, so it's pretty tight. But I had this fuel sitting in 1-gallon jugs in my car for the last 2 years, so I think it's picked up some moisture, and that's what's causing the erratic engine runs. Because it's doing it in every airplane I got. Even my Junar is not running like it normally does. So that'll get straightened out Friday. I was getting 10%, but Bill called me today and said I really wanted 5. He called me today. He said, "Well, I got a deal for you. You can get 4 gallon of 5%." Okay. more than I wanted to spend, but I'll use it this summer. I realize this is not exciting stuff, but not going to be any flying tomorrow. I've got to get, well, we got laundry to do. I got to get everything ready to go so I can leave Friday. First stop is Pocahontas. Potan, like Pete. Start the trip off right. The very best ham and egg breakfast in the country is at Potan. Then the next stop will be Indianapolis, and the next stop after that will be Dayton. And then the next stop after that will be Brodak. I probably won't pull into Brodak until late evening. Of course, I don't know. Joe is supposed to stay over in Dayton. Maybe I'll meet up with Joe and we'll drive in together. Okay, nobody talking tonight. We got 13 watchers and no talkers. Somebody dented my airplane. I'm gonna have to be careful, I guess. Okay, here's a pro tip coming up. Except I think the iron is in the garage. Look here, where's the iron? Damn. You know, people think that I dent airplanes because I wear rings. Never have I dented an airplane with my rings. Yep, we got the iron here. Okie dokie, let's get this going. I got a little one right there and a little one right there. Get these babies all doctored up. Pete, where you be, Pete? Get the wires wound up. No matter what happens, whether I can get this stupid thing to broadcast 3 cameras or not, we're gonna do a video with the 3 cams, and I might have to upload it at night at Brodak. I need to up my video production quality. You know, I like doing these live streams because I don't have to do any editing. There are some mistakes. pretty rare, but there are some mistakes, and you get to see how I go through them, how I straighten them out. It is rather slow though, because you have to watch everything. All right, I got to get some water on this. We'll get this sopping wet. Give me a second. By the way, this works with furniture too. If you got a dent in hardwood on your furniture, use your wife's iron and a washcloth with water on it. No, it ain't quite hot enough yet. Wonder where we're at with PayPal so I can pay Charles. I'm gonna have to make a few phone calls to some of these guys. There we go on that. We'll get that working. What I'm basically getting at here is don't go out to the field unprepared. A little bit more. Just about all gone. Let's see. Ever so slight. It'll be 100% gone when I'm done here. Yeah, maybe a little more. Got to be careful because if you get it too hot, it'll burn the paint. Okay, we'll let that cool and I'll come back. Then I got one right here. Almost. Hot, 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 hot. This one here could be from the wood sinking. Because it doesn't look like a fingernail dent or anything like that. Yeah, it's about as good as that's going to get. This is fiberglass. I need to get some more water on this. We're going to, well, let's hit it with the buffer first and see what it does. Nope, it's still there. I need just ever so slight, but man, that bothers me. Let me get some more water on this. PA 75, how much you think this airplane weighs? Put your guess in. I'll show it on the scale. See, what gets that dent out is the steam. That's why I needed more water. If I dry it out, all you're doing is getting the wood hot. You need that steam. Slight. But I think if I work on it, I can get it all. Hello, Miguel. Buenos tardes. I know it's afternoon over where you are. Everybody better learn to speak Spanish, because with all the Mexicans coming in or South Americans, we're going to be a Spanish-speaking country. And that's a shame. Well, that's as good as I'm going to get that dent. It's pretty slight, but it's there. New Zealand. Oh. Where's Old Zealand at? And where's Gerald? I haven't seen Gerald in forever. Got to be winter time there now too. I know he's your countryman. I know he's close to you. I haven't seen him in forever, about a year. Of course, I don't go on the Hangouts. I thought Craig was in Australia. I mean, he lives in Queensland, Australia. I just mailed something to him. Unless New Zealand is close to Australia. I don't know. I can't picture it in my head where it would be. Never been. Yeah, I got it out pretty good. You can kind of see it if the light's just right. Better than it was. Oh, we better shut that off before it burns the house down. Yeah. Across the big pond. Couldn't believe the postage. I sent up one motor, $37.10. Unbelievable. You guys are trying to make a living off one package. I think the people of the world are going to have to get upset about all this nonsense. Four tacos and a burrito, $15. That's just ridiculous. It used to be $5. Just last summer, maybe it was last summer, John and I would go to Taco Bell and get 2 meals of a burrito, enchilada, and a taco for $5. And now 4 tacos and a burrito is 15. You can't feel it, but I can see it. Oh well. You'll just have to bother me. If you're going to play with these things, they're going to get little dings and stuff on it. Cannot keep it perfect and play with it. Got the big honking prop on there, though. Yeah. Got some nitro on this wing here. It's a drop of nitro. Do you know Craig Marcel? He's a nice guy. I can't see you taking a boat ride to go flying. But hell, what do I know? It could be wrong. Yeah, don't worry about it. It ain't perfect, so. See, one of the big things is I wear these glasses. They pull things in 3 times as much. And I can see specks on a gnat's ass. I'm sure Wendy would say it's a front row plane. Wendy is a painter. I mean, that guy. This is not as good as Wendy's airplane. Wendy's a class in his own. I mean, of course, I don't know. I might be selling myself short here because I know where the boogers are. Not everybody's going to know where they are, where they're at. They just look at it as a whole and go, "That's nice." But see how similar the airplanes are? I mean, look very close. This one doesn't have gold leaf on it, but got a pretty nice shine on it, though. Oh. Yeah, I know. He said it. Let's get the gray on there. He really liked my Thunderbolt in 04. I mean, there's a video somewhere online of him looking over my Thunderbolt. He really liked it. That airplane sat on the front row 3 years in a row. Never won a concourse with it, but it did sit on the front row. This one here is probably a front row airplane if I can straighten the canopy out. And I think what I'm going to do, because of lack of time, is superfill that canopy and paint it green. We'll get the shape back the way it's supposed to be and then paint it green. Then after the gnats, I'll cut it off and put a canopy on it. Because I might do that tomorrow. I might start that project tomorrow and have it done before Brodak. I can do that probably in about 8 hours. A canopy install, a new canopy would, could take me a week. He said he couldn't build that plane any better. Well, if you look at that video where I'm holding it out of my car and all the detail on it and all that stuff, that took some time. all the panel lines are correct, and no, we didn't do any good flying today. I did testing. Here's what the outcome of today was. I put 2 flights on the XL. That shows me that airplane's in trim and it's ready to go. Did I fly it good today? No. When I'm on my game, it's it's right. But I put 2 flights on that. I know that's ready to go, so I wouldn't hesitate. And I just missed by 1.5 points of third against top dogs. I mean, Bob McDonald and the Almoff boys and John Paris. And John edged me out by 1.5 points. I knew my second flight was going to be crap because the wind was blowing. But I fly different. When I'm out at the field practicing or jerking around, I don't fly that well. But when somebody's watching me and I know that it counts, I can pay attention, concentrate, pay attention, and get it down and do what I got to do. So that one's on the back burner. Yesterday, this one here, I got 2 or 3 flights on. I know that it's ready to go, less a crappy engine run. And what I've discerned from this airplane, that airplane, and this airplane is the fuel's bad. So we're going to get fuel on Friday. So I'll have 4 gallons of fresh fuel to go to Brodak with. And that'll make the engine run right instead of spitting and sputtering. So that'll straighten that out. And this one here, I think this one here is pretty close to trim. I mean, but I'm going to have Joe Gilbert help me with it because I think it could be better. It does not fly as good as my Junar. But I got some different prop combinations to try. And we got different fuel coming. I do need to take some tip weight out if I'm going to use them spectral lines. Was using the spectral lines today, come around, the engine quit, and immediately the outboard tip dropped. There's just too much weight in it. By the way, this airplane is 59 ounces right now. If I take that tail weight off, it'll be 58.5, and if I take the tip weight out, it'll be 57 ounces. Because I think I'm going to be able to take the tip weight, all the tip weight out of it. But I'm not going to do that until I get up to Brodak and let Joe fly it and see what he thinks. I don't even know how much I got in it. Probably an ounce. It's probably way too much. Let's check it out. Let's see. No, I'm not going to build any multi-engine large barge airplanes. They're just too much weight. It's one of the reasons I give up on the Bearcats, because they're going to be in the 70-ounce range, and that's just not me. What the hell? 764. That's what. Gotta clean this place up. Yeah. I gotta clean it up so Steve Smith can come over here and we can build some airplanes. The way it stands right now, I can't hardly move. That's 7/32. That's metric. That's too small. That ain't right. There it is. No, that ain't it. What the hell happened to it? There it is. Let's see what we got in here for tip weight. Whatever it is, I'm going to cut it in half. No, I'm not. I only got a 1/4 ounce in there. Yeah, we'll leave it on there until Joe flies it. If it needs to come out, I'll take it out. But that's what I normally do. I normally put a 1/4 ounce of tip weight in my airplanes to start. You know, I've heard guys say, windy especially, ounce of tip weight. Got to have an ounce of tip weight. Man, ounce of tip weight. Shit. Let's check the goings on of this here. That's a lot of tip weight, is an ounce. You look at what Billy puts in his, he probably puts in 3 BBs. Tight. 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 I was really surprised today when this engine ran for 9 minutes. That's good. Because I don't have to have a bigger fuel tank. Okay, let's looks like the paint is coming off there. And nitro is something else, boy. I talked to guys at Sherwin-Williams. I said, what can I get to be nitro proof? He said, there is nothing. The most resistant paint to nitro is called Sunfire. And they use it on the Bonneville Salt Flats cars. But Sunfire is going to be heavy. Heavy. So we just have to deal with it. I think this cow's about an ounce. Yeah, let's weigh it and see. Come on. Nope. Weighs more. Ounce and a quarter. I should remake this thing, make it less. Part of the weight is this goofy intake that I did. The reason I did this is because John says you always make your cows look exactly the same. Well, yeah, it's the lightest. So I decided I would make something different, and I paid a quarter-ounce penalty. Oh well. At least we'll get the 5%, and I won't have to worry about it eating the paint off the screen. For you guys running 10%, keep it off the paint. That's all I gotta say. Normally I use 2K clear on the nose, but I quit doing that so that I could repair it. Here's another stupid thing that's coming up here. So we'll just do this. Okay, I learned something tonight. No, I don't never use gas engines. I learned tonight I need to wrap my cal paint around inside on that, like I do on the glow plug area. I'm always trying to cheat and save weight. Yeah, well, depends how hot it is. If it gets up to 100 degrees, you need 10%, 15%. Looks good enough for government work, so. Yeah, I go to Brodak. Not, I mean, it'd be nice to win. I did win first place in sports scale there, and I have won a few Pilot's Choice Award. There's one for 2015. There's I don't know. There's another one around here for, I can't remember what years it was. That one's 2015. Where's the other ones? I won it 3 times. Pilot's choice. Which is hard to do. That don't look bad. Got some gripes today, boy. People do not know the rules of the road. Yield the right-of-way means when you pull up to the stop sign, the person on your right goes first. They don't seem to understand that, not in this state. It's not yield the left-of-way, it's yield the right-of-way. They don't teach how to merge on the freeway either. They come up to the end of the off-ramp and stop like morons. I try to be going faster than traffic when I get to the end of the on-ramp, so I can pick my spot and merge into traffic. And then some knucklehead today had a sticker on his car, learning to drive stick shift. Well, if you're learning to drive stick shift, you better get the hell out of my way. I drive a stick, by the way. He couldn't drive that stick worth of crap. So the menu for tomorrow is, I went to Walmart today after flying and got a 6-foot long table. The website said $34. Walmart said $49. So I had no choice. And I bought, let's see, 18, 36, 46, 60, 8 and 6 is 14, 74 bottles of water. It won't last a week, but it should help some. So the basic shopping is out of the way. Tomorrow is laundry day and get my trailer ready. So I'm still working on the damn internet stuff. I can't make it work. I figured it out. I really would like to, there's another thing. I go to Best Buy again. I go to Best Buy again today. And I'll show you what I'm trying to do. Real simple, except they can't figure it out. Okay. Okay, you guys know that I got those Mevo cameras. Well, the Mevo camera takes a lot of bandwidth, and they all connect to this little hotspot, to the hub. And they shoot it out over the internet via the iPad here. So I told you I was going to figure out how to tether them and to tether it to the iPad. I figured that part out because I can read and I can research and I understand that. So I got Ethernet to USB-C and Ethernet to micro. So this plugs into this, and this plugs in to the iPad. I should be able to get internet. I can see it, the DNS and the subnet mask, when I plug it into the iPad. It sees it, but it won't send it out over the internet. So there's some setting in this thing to allow it to be connected via Ethernet. So I go to Best Buy. I tried calling on the phone, but guess where support is? The same place that I made me quit the other people, the Philippines. No speak English, no savvy. So I go to Best Buy. I talk to the Geek Squad. The geeks don't know squat. They know less than nothing. I'm an old guy, and computers are not first nature to me. I mean, they're just not. It's something that I had to learn for work. And they were young guys. They had no clue what I was talking about. So they sent me to the telephone people. I go to T-Mobile over there. Oh, I did stop at T-Mobile too, and they got no clue. I go to the T-Mobile spot in Best Buy, and they said, you can't do that. I said, buddy, I'll guarantee I can. I've seen it done on the internet already. But they don't tell you what equipment or what settings they used. I said, you know, if you were 12 years old and you wanted to play a game, I'll guarantee you'd know how to do it. That's what gripes me. And I don't know any 12-year-old kids, because that'll get you in trouble if you know any kids. Guaranteed that if a kid wanted to play a game, and that's what he had, he would be on the game playing it. And these morons are in the business, and they don't have any clue of what I was talking about. What is the subnet mask and the DNS server and all? They got no idea. Man, you're in the business. Why don't you tell me how to do it? Nope, can't do it. So I'm hoping somebody at Brodak is a computer wizard and understands networking, and we can get that working, because what that does is it allows the cameras to Bluetooth into the iPad, not taking any bandwidth from the server or from the hotspot. Bluetooth to the iPad, and the iPad connect to the internet via the hotspot. And then we should have flawless video. Flawless. Now, I did run it on this channel once already, but that was everything connecting to that hotspot. And it's just way too much. I'm trying to shove way too much water into a 3/4 inch pipe. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it pixelates and drops connection and all that other stuff. So I'm trying to free up that pipe. And I know in my heart that it'll work. Okay, let me explain something, Yogi. Gas engines are great for RC because you don't have a hold of them. You're 10 mistakes up in the air, and it doesn't matter what the airplane weighs. It could be 50 pounds. When you're stringing or swinging an airplane at 55 miles an hour on 70-foot lines or 64 like I'm running, it's pulling G's. An airplane this size, that's we'll just say this is 60 ounces. When it's doing loops in 10-mile-an-hour wind, feels like it's 40 pounds. So if I had a gas engine up here that weighed a pound or more than that, probably be 2 pounds. That would be 80 pounds. Well, hell, I mean, I'm a little guy. I don't know that I got enough muscle to hold on to that thing. So no, nobody uses gas. The electrics have a downfall of that battery, the brick. That's 10 ounces. So you got 10 ounces and a 6-ounce motor. That's 16 ounces. Where this motor is only, I don't know, 12, 13 ounces, but you got 7 ounces of fuel. So you got 20 ounces in the nose. But you also got, on electrics, you also got the speed controller, the timer, and all that wire. That little wire is very heavy. So you probably get 25 ounces as opposed to 20. I didn't think of that. Yeah. 2-stroke is twice as efficient as any 4-stroke. And alcohol is more, no, that's wrong. Gasoline is more efficient, but alcohol puts out more power to run cooler because you're running so much fuel through it. So a top fuel car burns 15 gallons of alcohol, methanol, in a quarter mile. 15 gallons. It's not burning all that, it's using it for the coolant. That's why you see all them flames coming up. That's raw fuel shooting out. The engine's almost running in a hydraulic lock. And believe it or not, the 2 mags on a top fuel car you could arc weld with. That's just to get the spark going. Once that car reaches critical mass, about 60 foot out on the track, the electrode on the spark plug is gone. It's no longer sparking, it's glowing. It's a glow plug. So basically, it's become a 2-stroke diesel. Not many people know why they have wrinkle wall tires either. Wrinkle wall tires are the gearbox. So as it's sitting idling, the tire's flat. It's the circumference of the tire is very small, so they can get a lot of traction and it pulls. As the tire speeds up, it grows and the gearbox grows taller because it's direct drive. It doesn't have a gearbox in it. So they're using the diameter of the wheel to go faster. And that's why, I mean, that's a big science. Did you know that a top fuel's engine is only held in with 4 hose clamps? Check it out. Look it up. Think I'm lying. They're held in with 4 hose clamps. They're not bolted in. They got hose clamps holding them on the fuel rails. That's it. I know a lot about drag racing. I know a lot about motorcycle racing, painting. You know, ask me a question, I'll tell you no lie. My top alcohol bike burned 3 gallons in it, 3 gallons of methanol in a quarter mile. Had 3-inch Zoomy on it, you know, 2 3-inch Zoomies, 131-inch Harley. And that's small by comparison today. They're like a Merch motor is probably 150. They're putting out big power. And the reason why I quit monkeying with drag bikes, first off, cost too much. Second off, I was nowhere near competitive. I was in the 7s, like 20s, and they're down almost 6s now. Like you tell Paul Walker and other electric motors aren't as efficient. That's right. You've been dragging. Let's see. That's just your hose clamps are not true. Come on, you want to bet? There's a Let's see, what's the guy's name? You can see it right on YouTube. What's the guy's name? The engines are held in with 4 hose clamps, 2 on each side. What the hell is Terry? Now I want to say McCulloch, but that's not it. I don't know. I'll find that video again and I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. No, the guy's Top Fuel, and they're holding them in with 4 hose clamps. The it's bolted. The engine is bolted to a tube like this. It's TIG welded to a tube. The tube comes down, and sitting on the rail, it's got a saddle on it, and there's a hose clamp holding the saddle to the frame rail. That's it. What the hell's the guy's name? They're not bolted in, they're hose clamped in. So they can get him in and out quick. What the hell is that guy's name? Oh, shoot. He's a real, I never met him, but he seems like he'd be a real pleasant guy. What the hell's the guy's name? I don't know. I'll look it up and we'll play it on my next video. I'll see if I can find that. You just go on YouTube and type in "explain Top Fuel Racing." Terry, I want to say his name's Terry something or other. He used to be Matco Tools. It used to be the Matco tool car, and now it's Batteries Plus or something like that. Anyway, I'll bet on that because I seen it and I couldn't believe it either. 4 hose clamps. It's amazing what the fuel pump will pump too. I think it probably 30,000 gallons a minute or some stupid thing. But the engine runs almost in a hydraulic lock. That's why if you get a burp, it just throws the blower off because they're pumping so much fuel in. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll look for it again. But that thing about the tires, do you agree about the tires? Why are the tires like that? They grow so the car will go faster. Here's another little tidbit. This comes from my friend Bill, who used to run the Budweiser top alcohol car. The only other, Bill Hill, the only other driver sponsored by Budweiser beside Kenny Bernstein, who I've met. We used to work on Bill's car up at Hampton. He told me that the G-force of the parachutes coming out is worse than the G-force of taking off. So it's like your eyeballs will almost pop out of your head. Yeah, I played a little bit with that stuff. Now, it wasn't that way in his alcohol car. It wasn't held in with 4 hose clamps, but Top Fuel, 4 hose clamps. No kidding. What the hell's the guy's name? Shit. Interstate Batteries is the car sponsor now, and it used to be Matco. But they said, hey, they're all held in with hose clamps. Type it into YouTube search engine, it'll pop right up. Anyway, we've been on an hour and 17 minutes. I've been rattling off. I'll see if I can find that video for you guys to prove that I'm not lying. I do not lie. It's not worth it, because you get called out and said, that's not true. Yes, it is. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't know. We'll probably be working on the trailer to get the race ready. It's almost like drag racing. No, I'm not going to shim the tank. The reason for the terrible engine run, and you should, if you drag race, you'll understand this, is the fuel I had been sitting in the car for over a year during the winter, and so it's picked up some moisture. Every airplane I got running on that fuel is running like doggy do. So I'm going to pick up new fuel Friday. So after I get new fuel in it, change the plug, get new fuel in it, because it ran fine last season or the season before. It's the fuel. I got a decent engine run, but all my airplanes were doing the same stuff. Very discouraging. That's why I wasn't real thrilled about flying. Motor runs were terrible. And that's, you can't trim out that, and there's no way that I could get around, no way I get around it without getting new fuel. And seeing as that SIG is out of business, they don't have any SIG champion in the hobby shop anymore. The only thing you get is cool power, and I'm not going to burn up my motors. They don't have Technoplate in them, and they don't have enough oil. They're running 18% oil, and I just no, I'll pass. I'll get the right stuff. And the stuff we're getting is homebrew, so it's 70% methanol, 10% Technoplate clots, 10% castor, and 10% nitro. And we've been buying the nitro from clots too, and that's really went up. That's over $100 a gallon. Some guy was saying he had 5 gallons for, I don't know, 10 years. Well, when Hayjack was alive, he had a 55-gallon drum of nitro in his garage, and we threw it out because it was 5 years old. Nitro deteriorates when it picks up moisture. So that's why these motors are running so crappy. It's either moisture in the alcohol or moisture in the nitro one, but not going to monkey with it until I get good fuel. When I get the Brodaks and I got good fuel and it does it again, I'll have my stand with me and I'll do whatever I got to do to get it straightened out. But until then, I'm not going to monkey with it. Because this one ran crappy, this one ran crappy, and that one ran crappy. So what does that tell me? That one ran good last year, that one ran good when I hung it up, and this one ran okay when I hung it up. So got to be a problem. But I only got about that much left in that gallon, so I'll give it to some sport flyer to play with. What is the shelf life of the fuel? Well, I got a racing fuel jug out in the garage. And if I would have had it in it, would have lasted longer. But this was in regular gallon jugs. And those gallon jugs sweat. They leak. They just seep. And when they're seeping, they're sucking in air. And any air that's out there, especially in the winter, it's got moisture in it. So the moisture goes into the thing. So I can't remember the name of the jug. Big name, racing fuel. It's not clots. It's not Castrol. Maybe it is Castrol. Anyway, one of them big orange jugs, 5-gallon jugs, racing fuel. If it's in that, no, it's not Shell. If it's in that and capped real tight, it would probably last you know, a year or two in a good environment, in a controlled moisture environment. Like if you had it sitting in the house or in the garage, it's moisture controlled. But sitting in the car where the temperature's changing, hot as hell, cold. And I left it in the car for over a year. So that's what I got. It's not good. So shelf life is not long. But I would say it feels good for a year if it's kept in a good, cool place. What is the best way to keep the fuel? Best way to keep the fuel is in that racing fuel jug that I got in a cool environment, not freezing like it was out in the out in the car, but a cool environment in the shade. Keep the moisture down. Now, air conditioning would be the best, but to take the moisture out of the air. But I'm not keeping it in the house. I don't have an air conditioned garage, so if you buy 4 or 5 gallons a season, you're going to burn that up before the end of the season. It won't go bad in the season. And that's what we've been going through, about 5 gallons a season, 4 or 5 gallons a season. But there are some guys in this hobby that'll go through 20 gallon in a season. How about a refrigerator? I don't think so. I couldn't say, but I don't think so. It's just cool, dry place. It's got to be dry. If you want to keep CA for a while, you put this in the refrigerator. But I use it up, so I buy it by the quart or the pint or whatever. And this 2P10 pint, I've never had one of these go bad because I use it up so quick. So I got the Bob Smith bottles. I use it out of the bottles, keep them tied up, and then just pour this into those bottles and then use it. So this lasts quite a while. Well, see, my fuel jars, those fuel gallons have that hose, that I fill out of. So it's not a good airtight seal. But the racing fuel jug is airtight. It's got a big cap on it, and it's got a spigot on it, and you put the top on with a, it's not going to get any air, but that fuel spigot that goes in the gallon jug, air is going to get in there, moisture. So that's the deal behind my poor engine runs today, just crappy fuel. I'm 100% convinced of that. And when I get fuel and I get up to Brodaks and I run these motors and they run right, I'll know for sure. If they don't, then I'm going to bring my stand with me. I'll go through them and see what the deal is. But I got a feeling it's just crap fuel, because I borrowed some fuel from a guy at the field on the Fun Fly to see, and the engines ran fine. So it's fuel. And it was 5%. The engine ran fine on the borrowed fuel. I even went through some glow plugs to see if that was a problem, because these glow engines ain't going to burn water, that's for sure. As long as there's no load on it, and you're not ramming air down the venturi. They sound all right on the ground, but get in the air, not good. So I bet on that. I will bet on that. All right, we're done. Any other questions before I go? You don't want to take a bet on that 4 hose clamps, Tony. Trust me. Oh, man. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, probably from the garage. Bad time, whatever that means. We'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.